We've got an update on the Dredd sequel, Rebellion CEO. Rebellion is the company that owns the 2000 AD publication that owns Judge Dredd. But the Rebellion CEO explains why Dredd sequel progress is slow, but promises we are making progress. Let's take a look at this. Speaking with Sports Illustrated in August, the Rebellion CEO Jason Kingsley told the outlet, "I have been working for years on trying to find the right business partner for that. As for why it's taking so long to get a deal done and get to work," Kingsley explained, "We've had conversations with all the big players. Conversations are still ongoing, but the terms that we're being asked for, we can't support. They're not how we want to work." Nevertheless, Kingsley was optimistic. He says, "So we're getting there. We're making progress, but it's slow. So yes, I want to get some more of it done. Obviously, I want to do cool stuff. There's nothing to announce yet." He would later elaborate on what is specifically holding up a potential sequel. He says, "One of the things I think sometimes the general public doesn't understand is how much work goes on behind the scenes, how many false starts, and how many hours you spend negotiating with somebody only to reach a point where you actually can't conclude a deal. You can't agree because it just wouldn't work for the legacy that is the archive of material we've got. We're not going to sell Judge Dredd to people, basically, and people want to buy it. That's what it comes down to. I'm afraid that won't work for us. No, we're the guardians of this IP," he explained. So it does seem like they are trying to get a Dredd sequel made, probably trying to get some other Judge Dredd stuff made as well. And we know that they had that Judge Dredd Mega City 1 TV show that was supposed to be going to Netflix that got postponed due to COVID back in 2020, where they were thinking of having Karl Urban maybe cameo in that for a number of episodes, but that obviously got put the brakes on because of the COVID-19 pandemic that basically increased costs for everything. But it does sound like they're trying to get it done, but they want to work the way they want to work. They don't want to operate under these other studios and what they want to do with Judge Dredd. And probably for the best. I don't have any negative opinion about Rebellion and how they've been handling Judge Dredd. I think maybe there might have been, I'm not sure if they had bought 2000 AD at the time, but maybe some of the IDW comics that they published through them were a little, let's say, not the greatest Judge Dredd stories. But for the most part, I feel like they've done a pretty good job handling the IP, respecting and understanding what Judge Dredd is, understanding that it's that he's very similar to the Punisher, but he's also a kind of critique of United States imperialism. There's some really interesting stuff there, and I actually like this because they want to protect the IP, and all power to them there. But the idea that we're going to get a Dredd sequel might be hard for some studios too, and they might be trying to leverage the previous film's box office performance. It only grossed $13.4 million at the domestic box office, and another $28 million for a global gross of $41.4 million when it premiered back in that should be 2012. The movie had a production budget of $45 million, meaning the film lost a significant amount of money. However, the film would find an audience as its DVD and Blu-ray sales nearly raked in half as much as its overall box office haul. That's absolutely astounding. Very, very good numbers here on the domestic DVD sales and the Blu-rays. The numbers reports it did 11.7 million in DVD sales and another 10.1 million in Blu-ray sales for a total of 21.9 million. Again, that's nearly half. I actually think that's more than half of what it did at the box office. That's really, really good. So it definitely got a cult following. I know I didn't go and see it in theaters. I didn't really even know about it. I didn't find out about it until Netflix, and I was able to get it when they were still doing the CD delivery stuff. And I ordered it from Netflix, had it delivered to my door, watched it, and was like, I got to go buy this movie. And that's exactly what I did. That's probably around like 2015 or so. And love that movie. Love that movie all the time, and I watch it pretty much every year. It's a fantastic film. As I mentioned earlier, they were developing the Judge Dredd Mega City 1 television show. Back in 2018, Variety actually reported that Rebellion had purchased a new warehouse that they plan to convert into a studio space for the series. Urban was in discussions to reprise the role. He said this back in 2017. "I'm in discussion with them about that. I told them if they write the material and give Dredd something to do and give him a function, I will be there. I would love to." The series' producer, Brian Jenkins, also wanted him to return as Dredd. He said, "We have had many conversations prior to this about all sorts of things. He's also very busy, a full-time professional actor, so we're going to have some long and complicated conversations, I would imagine, and we'll see where we go. It's too early to tell yet, but if we can use him and he's available to us, then I think that would be absolutely brilliant. There's always a possibility he will be busy or that his schedule for other movies won't allow. Basically, we don't know at this stage." Back in 2020, we did get the report from Kingsley. He spoke to Radio Times, and he basically said the TV show was on hold. He said, "I want there to be a sequel to the 2012 movie Dredd. We've got the rights back, so we can do it. We've just got to get rid of this virus thing that's going on at the moment, and then hopefully things can kick off in all sorts of different areas of making film and TV. It's all very messed up at the moment for everybody." And so a lot of work has been done on all sorts of different scripts, actually. So Mega City 1, the TV show, basically we can't go into production because of the coronavirus pandemic, and we've got scripts and everything is ready to go. But the problem is, because of the pandemic and everybody's funding changes and everybody's shifting around. So they clearly have these Mega City 1 scripts written. I would not be surprised if they have a Dredd sequel script written out there. I'm sure they can find tons of great inspiration from the 2000 AD comics on what you could do for a Dredd follow-up. Lots of stuff that they could pull from. I don't know if you'd want to do the Judge Death and those. I really love those stories, but those might be a little bit too supernatural for what they were kind of doing in Dredd. But it could be a fun little interesting aspect to it. But I think you probably want to keep it grounded, maybe not dive into the supernatural aspects of the Judge Dredd stuff if they do indeed do that. But this is the update we've got. They are working on a Dredd sequel. It's just that they're running into some problems in the negotiations with a bunch of studios that seemingly want to dictate what they want to do with Judge Dredd rather than letting Rebellion dictate and respect the IP, respect the character, and guard it. So let me know what you think about this update on a possible Dredd sequel.
Subscribe for more.